Cleetus McFarland just brought millions of eyes to NASCAR, and how did they repay him? By completely shutting him down for Talladega. The YouTube star with over 4.6 million subscribers who literally builds racetracks in his backyard got rejected from NASCAR's biggest superspeedway after his very first race. But here's what makes this story so different from what you probably think happened. Cleetus didn't fight back. He didn't make excuses. Instead, he did something that reveals exactly why he'll probably get his shot eventually. His Crown Victoria endurance races draw tens of thousands of concurrent viewers. When Cleetus announced he was getting a shot at NASCAR's O'Reilly Auto Parts series, his fans went absolutely insane with excitement and anticipation.
Probably 3 minutes ago, I got off the phone with the director of the O'Reilly Series NASCAR series.
Here's what NASCAR was getting with Cleetus: a content creator with a built-in audience of millions of engaged fans, someone whose YouTube videos regularly pull massive engagement while NASCAR struggles with younger demographics. A driver who brings genuine enthusiasm to a sport that's become increasingly corporate and calculated. The opportunity seemed perfect. Cleetus would drive the number 33 Tommy's Express Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. This wasn't some publicity stunt or short-term experiment. The guy had been racing seriously, working his way up through ARCA and the Craftsman Truck Series with legitimate results. In 2025, he ran multiple RCA races, finishing 10th at Talladega and 9th at Charlotte. His goal was simple but ambitious: run the superspeedways like Talladega and Daytona, where pack racing and drafting skills determine outcomes. But then came Rockingham Speedway on April 4th, 2026. Cleetus made his O'Reilly Auto Parts Series debut, and things didn't go according to plan. On lap 4, he attempted a daring 3-wide pass, sliding sideways on the bottom before making a remarkable save that kept him in the race. He finished 32nd, 6 laps down from the leaders, a result that immediately signaled trouble ahead. What made this debut particularly damaging wasn't just the crashes, it was the overall performance gap. Cleetus was outpaced by nearly every driver in the field. Veteran racers who had seen hundreds of laps at super speedways were watching a driver who'd never raced at that level before. The NASCAR brass took notes. The decision was already being made in that moment. Now here's where it gets interesting. Just 3 days later, Cleetus got the call. The director of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series delivered the news that would change his immediate future. No approval for Talladega. In fact, no approval for any superspeedway. Instead, NASCAR limited him to short tracks like Dover, Bristol, and Iowa. It was a crushing blow to his season plans and his team's expectations. The timing was brutal. Talladega was scheduled for just 2 weeks away. Sponsors had been notified. Fans had been counting down the days. Then suddenly, everything was off. The racing world went into overdrive, speculating about why NASCAR would give him the opportunity and then snatch it away so quickly. Industry insiders knew exactly why. Young drivers crash. That's part of learning. But superspeedway crashes at 185 miles per hour in pack situations can destroy multiple cars and hurt multiple drivers. Think about that logic for a moment. NASCAR was telling one of the most enthusiastic drivers they'd seen in years that he could only run the hardest, most technical tracks. Bristol is a concrete half-mile where drivers race inches apart at high speeds and bump-and-run tactics are common. Dover is a mile-long concrete monster known for punishing rookie drivers with its abrasive surface and demanding racing characteristics. Iowa is another short track, requiring veteran precision and experience with tight confines. But Talladega, where the cars are largely equal and drafting skills matter more than raw experience. Too risky for a rookie with just 1 race under his belt. The real issue wasn't outside pressure or corporate gatekeeping or any conspiracy, it was fundamental experience.
Long story short, they said that in Rockingham, they did not see enough out of me as a driver.
Cleetus himself acknowledged this immediately and honestly. He didn't make excuses. He didn't blame the system. He didn't attack NASCAR. He accepted that he needed more windshield time before attempting super speedways with their dangerous pack racing physics and higher accident potential. What Cleetus understood, and what any serious racing analyst can appreciate, is that NASCAR's decision made actual sense from a safety perspective.
I would like to go to Kansas or, another mile and a half, because those are a little bit easier. And then the super speedways are actually the easiest.
Superspeedways require pack racing experience that comes from hundreds of laps in competition. When you make a mistake at Talladega doing 185 miles per hour in a pack of 40 cars, the accident is usually catastrophic and can take out 4, 5, even 6 other vehicles. When you make a mistake at Bristol, you primarily hurt yourself and your car. That's the real logic behind the rejection, not some hidden agenda or politics. Compare this to other young drivers who got similar rejections. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, they all faced restrictions early in their careers, but the ones who accepted feedback and worked to improve eventually moved up. The ones who fought the system often didn't. Cleetus was choosing to be the first type. But here's what made Cleetus completely different from drivers who get rejected and become bitter. He didn't sulk. He didn't attack NASCAR leadership. He didn't claim some grand conspiracy against him. Instead, he immediately turned it into motivation and a learning opportunity. NASCAR told him he needed more experience in ARCA and the Truck Series before earning Superspeedway approval. So that's exactly what he committed to doing without hesitation. The situation itself had real complications that made it tougher. He already had schedule conflicts with the other short tracks where he was approved. This created a genuine possibility that he might be knocked out of O'Reilly Series racing for the entire 2026 season. But Cleetus had backup plans and other opportunities. He announced he would still run Talladega in his ARCA car. He had Kansas, Michigan, and multiple unannounced truck races coming up later in the year that would build his experience and prove he belonged at higher levels. What Cleetus absolutely refused to do was blame NASCAR for making a reasonable safety decision based on his performance at Rockingham. He didn't claim outside pressure from other drivers or jealous team owners trying to keep him out. He didn't say the system was rigged against YouTube personalities. He accepted responsibility for his debut performance and committed to genuine improvement. This is where the narrative completely transforms. Cleetus put the rejection in honest perspective. He talked about his family, his racetrack, his employees, his friends, and his priorities. He acknowledged this was a little kick in the nuts, but genuinely recognized that his NASCAR adventure was just one part of his life, not the entire center of it. He committed to earning his way back to Talladega. He noted that the O'Reilly's guys might approve him for mile-and-a-half tracks based on his upcoming RK and Truck Series performances without him running any other O'Reilly's races. He set a goal that he believed in. Eventually, he would make it to Talladega in an O'Reilly's car, but it would be because he earned it through performance, not because he deserved it through popularity. The real story here isn't about NASCAR crushing a young driver's dreams or corporate gatekeeping. It's about a young driver accepting feedback, committing to improvement, and understanding that professional motorsports has requirements for legitimate safety reasons. Cleetus's attitude in handling this rejection is exactly why he'll probably get his Talladega shot eventually. Drivers who accept feedback and work to improve always find success. This wasn't gatekeeping. This was NASCAR doing their job of protecting driver safety, and Cleetus accepting his responsibility to improve before moving up. That's the story the actual video tells, and it's a better story than any conspiracy narrative could ever be. If you want to see more analysis of drivers who are genuinely shaping racing's future through hard work and smart decisions, subscribe. Cleetus McFarland just showed why respect for the process matters more than shortcuts.